whenever you want.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was born on January 1st, 2000. There were huge cash prizes around the country, continent, and even around the world for the firstborn millennium baby, up to $2 million. Unfortunately, I was born at 4 p.m., l'heure du goûter. There were already 5 babies born before me in that hospital alone. My mom had me at 18 and moved to Vitry-sur-Seine, a Paris suburb, shortly after, because Florida is not the best place to raise a newborn, especially as a single parent. Saying you were American was the coolest thing that I could say as a kid. I grew up in Chessy, next to Disney. I was amazed by this rural, closely knit community. Everything was within walking distance and everybody knew each other. All of our families worked for Disney because the town revolved around it, so we'd go at least 10 times a year. The ride songs are ingrained in our brains forever. I can still see the fireworks and castle from outside my childhood window. In elementary school, when we would make cards for Father's Day, it was completely natural to teachers and me that I write it to my mom. It was just me and her, and I couldn't have imagined it any better. Every once in a while, a kid would ask, "Pourquoi tu fais pas de carte pour ton papa?" And I'd just answer, "Je le connais pas." My mom and the rest of my family were on bad terms, to say the least, because she chose to have me. You can't but blame yourself in these situations, even if it really isn't your fault. I was always competitive in nature. I would give people a silent treatment if they dared to beat me at Mario Kart. When I was 11, my grandma took me to Boston to visit my family for the first time. I hadn't been to the US since I was like 6. I barely spoke English and I didn't know anyone in my family there. That's when I realized something was off. She took me to Harvard for a little touristy outing. I had never heard of it. The best, most renowned school in the world. You'd think I'd discovered the Holy Grail. My mind was immediately set. I will go to Harvard. That'll make up for everything. Once the seed was planted, I turned into my very own tiger parent. Luckily, French socialism allowed me to do it all. That same year, I forced my mom to let me apply to a public boarding school, demanded to be sent to my aunt's house in the Bay Area every summer so I'd get better at English, and ended up getting into one of the 2 public international high schools in Paris. Played soccer, ran Model UN, took all the STEM classes, went to Kyrgyzstan with Habitat for Humanity, and worked with refugees. Give me the money and I would have probably paid off a rowing coach. Add on top of it that I'm Black, people ate it up. Everyone told me admission committees would eat it up too. I guess they did. They honestly sell you a pretty realistic depiction of college. You truly work hard and play hard. You get here and it takes a while to realize you're so far from home. It's hard to process. Everyone around you knows stuff you've never heard of and does things you've never done. It's exhilarating. Everyone's dreams are so big. You can't just want to own a little library or work as a chef. They have to be on the top. And it makes sense. In a dog-eat-dog world, you wouldn't have made it into one of these institutions if your aspirations didn't match up. All of a sudden, You're at a school with thousands of kids who are exactly in the same spot as you are, and you realize that just cannot be your defining personality trait anymore. Either it fuels you, and before you know it, you're working a Forbes 500 high-earning job most of the country doesn't even know exists, or you retreat in confusion. I had never thought past college. I thought that was it. I would get into a prestigious university and my life would be set, as if it would fill me with contentment or something. It's not like Cornell hasn't. It had more to offer than I could ever imagine, but I didn't even know why I went through all this trouble to get here in the first place. It's only after I made it that I had time to reflect.
Amazing. Sounds so good.
Thanks.
Okay.